track of what they have done the other days during this event. That's the most hard.
And that's what I look back to see who's won medals, and I see especially in the canoe categories, because they're not names I know really well. I guess you're probably a little bit the same. You're more interested in the kayaks.
But C2s never change. So
I said in the C2s there's 5 out of the 7 crews. I've seen them do the same.
Yeah, because it was covered with dust, and then someone of my partners put a coffee all over it. Yeah. So the coffee and the dust got. So I think maybe.
But that's what I've sometimes seen when your computer gets slow, when you can hear this. The fan starts to make a lot of noise, and we take it into the IT guys, and they just take the back off and hoover, and then a vacuum, and then you're okay again.
Do you remember the password here?
I think it's written up there, Canoe 2022.
Yeah.
And the other thing I noticed with the
Office Nomad. That is another one. Okay.
The other thing I noticed with the C2 race, did you see the name of the British paddlers?
Yeah.
Owen Chisholm and Matty Johnson?
Yeah.
Is it the same Matty Johnson?
I had the same thought, I don't know.
I couldn't find anything about him on the net.
ITO Nomad, but it's not Canoe, it's something else. The Office Nomad, okay, maybe that.
to the 2022 Canoe Marathon Championships in Silkeborg. Me, Stefan Gustafsson, and Dave Francis will try to guide you through this day of interesting racing. We will start with the K2 Men Junior in a couple of minutes, and you just saw the course on the screen. Quite a straightforward course, and the conditions here today is really excellent, Dave.
Absolutely perfect, Stefan. Yeah, you can see the water. As I walked up to the course today from the car, it was like a mirror. So really good conditions if you like wash hanging. Great day for racing.
It is. Temperature, it's about 18 or so, and no wind at all. A little bit cloudy, but for the paddlers that doesn't matter at all.
And the paddlers will be away in about 8 minutes' time. Maybe give us a chance to look at a few of the guys we expect to be up the front. There we see the boat itself, K2s, 6.5 meters long and a minimum weight of 12 kilos. And defending champions Hungary and world champions Hungary will tell us that you'd always expect the Hungarians to be up the front end of the race. Now, neither of these guys have raced yet this weekend. And we go down, I think, to number 4. Denmark there, 4th on the list. We expect these guys to be right up the front.
Absolutely so. Nikolaj Bryde and Bertram Sørensen. Bertram Sørensen that won K1 the other day here.
And Nikolaj Brühl from Hellerup Kayak Club. Funny enough, both of these guys won the Olympic Hopes Regatta in different age classes. Nikolaj won under 15 in the 500 meters, and Bertram, of course, won in the under 16 1,000 meters. So these guys we'll expect to have some real high top speed. I think it was in 2019. Belt, they're going to be really strong.
I also think boat number 411, Francisco Santos and João Silva from Portugal will be up there among the best. Francisco Santos that had a silver medal in K1 the other day here. Otherwise, it's quite unpredictable. It's many of these guys that are doing their first international K2 marathon race here today. That makes the junior category quite interesting.
Yeah, maybe the more favoured Hungarian crew, I don't know, Oliver Turgani, 6th yesterday. But Varga not paddling today. He took a bronze medal yesterday, but he hasn't come up in one of the K2 boats today.
The Hungarian selection races are quite tough. They got together in K2s and then they run selection races. Straightforward in K2s. One of the few nations that can do that. I think Spain has more or less the same system. I think both the Spanish crews will also be quite good. They always are.
I think so. Yeah, they must have some great strength and depth, Stefan, because both of their crews here today, they didn't race in the K1. So of course they're fresher maybe than some of the other guys. I think we'll see Ukrainians, number 408, maybe quick off the line, but we'll see how they get on. with the skills of wash hanging and portaging. Maybe some of the Ukrainian kayak paddlers not so adept at that. But they're an up-and-coming nation. We'll expect to see them more and more as the years go on. See all the young men warming up here behind us in Silkeborg. With about 4 minutes now to go to the start. You can see the crowds aren't quite out in the numbers they were yesterday, but we'll expect to see that number grow as the day goes on. A little foggy here this morning, and I think the sun will burn that away in the next couple of hours. See the green vest there of Paul Donlan and Ben Higgins from Ireland. I think Paul finished number 16 or something yesterday. I was just talking to Ben's parents just before coming in this morning, and I think he was quite disappointed with the result he got yesterday. So hopefully they can maybe give a little better account of themselves today. Now getting ready for the start. Watch for the Hungarians, second from the left. That's Thomas Harvat and Oliver Turgonyi. And there in the Kevlar boat we have Sørensen and Brude, and I see that Bertram has shaved his beard for the day, if I'm not mistaken. So he's looking to be a little bit more aerodynamic. Ready to go. And away we go. Let's see who makes a early showing. And it's the Danish off to a great start as we expected. Sørensen and Brude. A second Danish in there too. But it's the Spanish crew, Estebanez and Machado, who perhaps made the best start of all. Oh, and a little coming together there. Number 407, that's Anton Hing and Sebastian Lokkegaard from Denmark. They've maybe been pushed back a little bit in that collision. And Norway, we haven't mentioned the Norwegians. Number 405, Lars Iversen and Mikkel Stjørsen. They've made a good start.
I think they will have seen Lars Iversen hurling previously this season. He is a very strong guy.
Any relation, Stefan? Do you know there was a sprinter, Morten Iversen, I think, back in the Seoul Olympics? His father. So he's good genes.
Absolutely, and also his mother was a former Swedish top paddler.
Fantastic. Keeping it in the family.
Anna Olsson with Olympic gold medals.
Anna Olsen, who won her Olympic gold, an Olympic gold with Susanna Gunnarsson, is that correct?
Agneta Andersson.
Agneta Andersson, sorry. The Irish pairing, Paul Donnellan, Ben Higgins, struggling a little bit at the back. It's difficult in all the backwashes. And I think they're with perhaps the Ukrainians, is it?
Already going into the first turn, still Spain taking the lead. Two Hungarians on either side, they're with Denmark and Norway in front. The other Danish coaches on the opposite side.
The Portuguese crew as well, a little bit at the back. We expected Santos is in good form. He got a silver medal yesterday. We expect him to be up the front. So maybe he's a slow starter. But it's quite relaxed there, certainly for the first guys. But Sørensen and Brule there, they look really strong, really comfortable. Very, very relaxed indeed, as are the Spanish in the lead, and I think everybody is on a little bit of a go slow at the moment. Gives an opportunity for those paddlers at the back maybe to come back up a little bit until it kicks off again, as it just has.
And in a few minutes' time, as the K2 men is carrying down towards two-fold group, they're getting ready for the race 21, men's C2. Code number 421, Sergio Matheus, Medalist from Portugal. 422, Manuel Campos, Diego Romero.
As we get ready now for the start of the men's C2 race. Hard to pick a favourite in this. Out of the 7 boats on the line, I think we have 5 of the boats have a medalist from earlier in the weekend included in their crew.
But I think Manuel Campos and Diego Romero, the winner of the World Championships last year in Romania, is a couple to pick. They have so many medals, these two together, throughout the years. As Manuel Campos said in the interview yesterday after winning C1, it was his 33rd international medal.
Incredible.
Yesterday, so
incredible. I expect also the Polish crew of Klos and Kaminski to be up the front. Klos, winner of the under-23 C1 race, and Kaminski silver in the men's short track. So they should have some good speed.
And so Shora Porciel had a silver medal. The other Polish guys had a silver medal in Romania last year at the World Championships there.
Polish crews, I think, together with the second Spanish crew. Fernando Busto and Diego Miguens, who lead. leading Polish crew looking like they're really putting in a hard effort at the start to try and get in front. Quite a high stroke rate compared to the other guys. And it's the Hungarians who are a little bit behind at the moment, a little surprise. We'd expect the Hungarian crew, of course, always to be up the front. Let's see what happens as the race progresses.
Yes. They say which one is.
Tough group racing in the C2 man. Poland and Spain, as expected.
You can see how difficult it is to turn these boats. I think that's the Polish crew of Kloss and Kaminski who've drifted out a little bit wide on the turn.
Both of them are paddling at the same side, on the left-hand side, and that's a little bit more difficult in the anti-clockwise turn.
Yeah, and we saw Campos had to make some corrective strokes and move his boat inside them, and he looks like he's moving his way back up to the lead of this race. But it's Borgil and Zukora who lead at the moment, from Busto and McGuinn's.
From the turn, you see the Polish in the lead together with the Spanish boats.
The junior men's K1 race or K2 race, and it is the Hungarian crew of Aron Marigaletti and Andras Terry who lead. Well, I think we have 7 who are away here. So we have 2 Hungarian crews. I can see that we have the Danish crew just on the left as we look at the picture. And I think it's Dominic Stanley. If I can just see their number, 406. Yes, Dominic Stanley and Harry Freeland who were up on the lead wash. I think they finished together in a sprint finish yesterday in 8th and 9th position. So pairing up today.
And now Hungary in the lead.
Denmark, double Hungary, Portugal, Great Britain, and now the speed's gone up. I think it's the British guys who've put a little bit of an effort in. And we can see that Sørensen and Brule have moved out to the right there. They got pushed out the back of the bunch a bit, and I think with their strength they're going to go straight back up to the front again. They've had a little clash with whoever was on their left-hand side, so I think they'll have another go again. But I think their tactics are clear, that they want to be up the front of the race throughout. And I think the Portuguese suffered there a little bit in that burn. You can see them just out to the right-hand side of the lead pack, just on the left of the screen as we look, and they're working hard to get back in contact. C2 race has settled into a lead group of 3. The 2 Spanish crews together with the Polish crew. It's Borgil and Zukora. Behind them, perhaps 60 or 70 meters already, is the second Polish crew, Klaus and Kaminski, and they're together with the Portuguese paddlers Sergio Marcial and Gilberto Cruz.
Houve uma que foi engraçada, foi ela começa a lavar a cabeça, uma rapariga começa a lavar a cabeça, mas essa era só para lavar. Mas também já tive mulheres a cortar no cabelo. E ela lavou, só estava a lavar a cabeça.
Paddlers out on their first lap, in which they won't portage. They'll just continue past the stands here as we look at it. The first portage will be on their second lap. So I think we've had a couple of K2s from behind who've caught back up towards the front. So we have about 9 boats that are in contention here. And it's still the British paddlers Dominic Stanley and Harry Freeland who lead. But there's still a lot of boats. Spanish crew of Esteban and Machado push their way into the lead. Everybody's looking around quite a bit at the moment. I don't think anybody really wants to do too much at this early stage. They just want to keep themselves out of trouble. Sørensen and Brule looking very good on the wash.
estava bem, só que a questão toda daquilo de discussões, essas maratonas e tal, não sei o quê, e pelo que eu percebi, ele teve um burnout e disse assim, eu sempre sei fazer, e então, está a trabalhar no que eu ganha mais salário no não é sempre grande, mas para ter esquece, não é? Claro, então às vezes eu acho que era responsável já pelo laboratório, aliás, não era muito mais conhecido, mas Galiza e Norte Portugal. Era um espanhol. E às vezes não há nada para isso, porque pode ser mesmo.
The Norwegian crew of Lars Iversen and Mikkel Sjursen, who were a little bit behind as they passed by the stand here, but they've got back in contact. And I'm just trying to see who they were together with at that time. I think it might have been the second Spanish crew, but everybody is back together now. 9 boats. It can be a little tricky going around the turn, especially when so many boats on the inside. Ooh. And the Hungarian boat there, just the nose of their boat actually went over the top of the second Danish crew, Anton Hing and Sebastian Lockegaard. And now the speed goes up. I think again it's Machado and Esteban who are pushing on at the front. The British pair working hard to stay on the wash. And Sørensen and Brühl on the other side, no problem for them to follow along. And they look around. That's the end of their little bit of work. British guys are happy to take it on. And it's Horvat and Turgonyi who've come up, and these four have a very small gap, but I think it's too early to think that it will be anything meaningful. We saw yesterday in most of the races you get quite excited when 3 or 4 boats go away, but it seems to always come back together again. But the British happy to push on here, really working hard.
Joseph Enoch and Hugh Singleton. No, it's actually Dominic Stanley and Harry Freeland.
Second Danish boat just come into picture. Together, I think, with the second Hungarians who are closing that gap. The others, sorry, it's not the Danish crew. I saw the green nose, I thought it was them. It's the Portuguese. Including Francisco Santos, who took the silver medal yesterday. I think he was really happy with that silver. But this 6 now have put a little bit more of a significant gap into the 3 that are following behind. I think that's a clever move by Santos there. No, he's not doing what I thought. Yeah, he's going to move into the A-wash. He looked to his left-hand side and he saw there was a free ride, and he's put in the effort to move across. And as long as the Danes stay at the front and the the bunch stays settled for a little while, that's a well worthwhile move. He'll get a good rest.
Nice group racing here, shifting all the time. And now the Danes could get on the A-wash.
And they've decided to go so slow at the front here again. Those three that were trailing behind have seen this and they've decided to catch up again without much problem. And it's, I think, the Norwegian crew who've done the work to close the gap. And they brought with them the second Danish crew, and I think it's the second Spanish crew.
Lars Ivarsen and Mikkel Schulzen from Norway.
But the minute that they catch up, someone at the front of the bunch decides they want to put in a bit of work, and again that increase in pace proves too much for the slightly weaker crews, and you can see they dropped out the back again.
The C2s are passing outside our windows here in the commentary books outside of the venue, the portage. They are not doing a portage this lap. Both Spanish crews and the Poles. Miguel Busto in the lead, Romero and Campos wash hanging, and Borgiel Soshura from Poland. Borgiel Soshura won a silver medal last year at the World Championships in Romania. Mateusz Borgiel also the winner of the short track earlier this week.
Good sportsmanship there. The leading Spanish crew really giving plenty of room on their inside for the full bunch to get around the turn. They are, of course, entitled to paddle close to the buoy. So nice to see.
Okay. And also for two ways. Depois eu não sei quanto tempo para construir a casa, porque também a casa deles tem que estar.
The start line earlier, Stefan, and we noticed there was a Maddie Johnson paddling the C2 for the Great Britain team, and we were curious to know, is it the same Maddie Johnson who paddles K1? It'd be unusual for someone to change disciplines that way, but not completely unknown. Gonyi there in the back of the leading Hungarian K2, He looks like he's a really tall man, very long-limbed. So he's able to get a really good reach. And it is double Hungary, Denmark, Spain and Great Britain. And just behind them, Portugal, Norway and Spain. And the Norwegians again we see doing the work to close the gap. I think they're going to bring these other two guys back up to the front bunch. So we'll be back with a bunch of 8 boats, I think, at the front. So we did have 9, maybe a couple of kilometers ago, and I think it's the second Danish crew. Anton Hing and Sebastian Lokkegaard, who've maybe found the pace a little bit high, and they've maybe dropped out of contention. Second bunch just in picture now, being led by the Irish crew, Ben Higgins and Paul Donnellan. But we're back to the front here, and these guys have about 600 or 700 meters to the first portage. And traditionally, of course, junior K2s, it's always fun at the portage. Nobody wants to give any space. So hopefully we don't see anything too disastrous for any of these guys.
But it will be intense, very, very intense in this first portage with that many K2s coming in at the same time. That's great. That's great, that's marathon.
Yeah, and I think it is Horvat and Turgonyi, you really put on some high speed there, try and make sure they get themselves to the front, out of trouble.
It is, and the second Hungarian, Trey Marialgetti, as well, in front there, together with Sørensen and Bryde, and Spain, Estebanes Machado, and also Great Britain, Freeland and Stanley.
Yeah, there's a lot of shifting about there at the moment, changing positions. Nobody wants to be too far back coming into this first portage.
Norway is there as well. Just a boat length behind, Sjursen and Iversen.
A Spanish crew looking really good here.
They do, very confident, powerful strokes.
Yeah, we talked earlier in the week about the Spanish. They tend to all paddle really, really well. Technically very, very efficient. But again, we see the same 3 guys, the Norwegians, the second Spanish crew, and I think it's the Portuguese have drifted a little bit off the pace, and the same 5 boats up the front again. So unfortunately for these 3 guys behind, they look to be sort of yo-yoing back and forward. We'll see that the Norwegians again put in some work to close the gap. And this pace has settled a little bit at the front. It's a chasing second bunch led by the Irish. And they have the second Danish crew with them. But here we go. First of the 6 portages, or 5 portages. And it's 3 going right, both Hungarians going to their left. So everybody looks like they're cleanly out. Oh, and Turgonyi and his partner looking like they're maybe not land animals, struggling a little bit, I think. Yeah. I think they're strong enough that they'll catch back up on the water, but with this short distance to the finish, you need to be quick on the land. And it's the Spanish again, very clean. They're leading out.
I think this is a pattern that we will see during this day of K2 racing. It's important to be in front in K2 to departures in a good way. Otherwise, you need to wait. The boats are long, and everyone can't get a good position on the pontoon at the same time. And then it's easy to break free. A little bit more easy, at least.
So I think in the second bunch there it was the Irish crew followed by Enoch and Singleton at the British crew. And I think they have a slight little gap to the ones behind.
Yeah, Spain, Hungary, Denmark, Great Britain, and second Hungarian, and then a slight gap to Portugal and Norway.
It's a little bit paddles down. I'm not sure anybody really wants to do any hard work at the moment.
So Turgoni and Horvat could close the slight gap they had. Nice group racing now, shifting. The Diamond Wash is open now, and it's rapidly taken by Hungary.
Yeah, I think it's the Hungarian crew who are pulling up on the right-hand side, and they've squeezed the Spanish into the A-wash. The British crew had jumped in there, and they've got squeezed out the back now.
And now they need to do something, or stay there or go around and try to squeeze the Danes into the diamond.
I think that's exactly what they're going to do, Stefan. Well called. Or maybe they'll be happy enough to sit second boat out.
Looks like.
They do seem to be working a little bit harder than the other four crews. Perhaps they just like to paddle with a high rate. But you can see that when you're looking at the other guys.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to be in that position as well.
But they're up there, and that's all that counts.
Yeah. Choosing to stay at the second wash on the outside of the Danes instead of being in the rough water behind.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here with this Spanish crew. I've not come across them before. As we said, the two Spanish crews, both fresh paddlers today. And they really look to me like they're controlling the race really well. Of course, together with the Danish haven't put a foot wrong either. And they're looking really strong. Big guys. And now the English paddlers, British paddlers, trying to see can they move up a position. It depends on whether the Danes are happy to drop onto the A-wash or not. I think they are.
C2, Ochiel Sushura, the Polish guys in the lead with both the Spanish crews.
And for the second lap, I think we see Kloss and Kaminski just behind them, working really, really hard. I'm not sure if they've been closing the gap. I think it looks like they are closing the gap, but very, very slowly. But you can see their stroke rate, they're working really, really hard. Kloss and Kaminski, who've both had medals already this weekend, and yeah, you can see they're only maybe 25 meters, 30 meters behind.
Adrian Kloss that won the under 23 long distance, and Kaminski who were second in the short track on Thursday. It looks like the British paddlers have pulled out from the race, and you were right. It was the same Matthew Johnson that did K1 yesterday.
Okay. Maybe when he was told he wasn't allowed to sit down in the boat with a double-bladed paddle, he said, "Nah, this isn't for me." But yeah, quite impressive that you can switch between those disciplines. I know there's one guy in Denmark here, Anders Krintel, very good kayak paddler. We can also jump in a seaboat, and he's done that often at the Danish Championships paddle boat races. In fourth place, Stefan?
It's Hungary.
It's Hungary, yeah?
It's Hungary.
I thought it was Kloss and Kaminski, but no, the Hungarians who had a very poor start. Something maybe happened to them on the line, but they're certainly pulling back up.
Mate Shidai and Salt Giuliani. Mate, who were second in the under 23 previously, and also did a short track where he finished ninth. It's just the 16 seconds, so I think they will. It's a good opportunity for them to close that gap.
Paddlers, Sergio Maciel with his bronze medal from yesterday. He's in 5th place here, together with Gilberto Cruz. Taking the opportunity just to tip some water out of their boat. I guess Maciel at the back of the boat. He's taking a gel. He must have had a gel taped to the boat. So they're looking strong. I think the Hungarians had closed up quite a bit before the portage, and now they look to be back to maybe 60. Oh, I think this is it. The Spanish, they've gone inside a buoy there in the black boat. One of the Spanish crews, I'm sure. It's Busto and Miguens, yeah. Maybe I'm mistaken. But if they have, of course, now you make a tactical judgment, because you can either go back around or you can take a time penalty. And perhaps they feel it'd be better to take a time penalty. They'll lose less time than actually trying to turn that longboat all the way around. So let's see. Junior K2 race. And Portugal have moved up to join the front four. Norway back. Yeah, I think it's still the same 8 guys who've been dicing for a little while now. The difficulty, of course, for the Norwegians or the second Danish boat, and maybe even the British boys, is to try and get yourself up into the front leading 4, where you have a little bit more comfort. Each time there's a big burn, these guys at the back will maybe get dropped a little bit and have to wait till the pace slows at the front and they have an opportunity to catch back up. But that's only sustainable for a certain length of time.
Which country? Spain? Spain. 4, 2, 3. Correct. And 15 or 15? 15. Okay. Thank you. Puseste lá o coisa, não foi, marcador?
Was Busto and McGuinn's who just paddled inside the buoy. They maybe were trying to cut that turn a little bit tight and hit the buoy, and it unfortunately maybe went down and bounced up the wrong side. It happens very easily, but unfortunate for them. But I think it was the right decision to keep going. I think you would probably lose more than 15 seconds if you try to reverse back and go around the buoy. So even if they make an error, I think they're thinking clearly. And 15 seconds, of course, it's not too hard to make up on the water.
Yes, you are here. Yes?
And they're pushing on now. And actually it looks like the Hungarian crew, they're only maybe 15 seconds behind. So actually when the Busto and his partner take their 15-second penalty, I guess they'll probably end up together with these 2 Hungarians if these distances stay the same up to the next portage.
It's 50 meters about. Back to the K2 is still quite big group of the K2 junior men with 7 boats. And that is Great Britain, Hungary, Denmark, the second Hungarian boat. It's Spain, Estebanes and Machado. It's Portugal, Silva Santos, and it's Sjursen and Ivarsen from Norway. And the gap increases to the second group with Coco Dimitrov from Spain and Higgins and Donnellan from Ireland.
we've definitely left Dimitrov and Coco, who are one of the sort of back markers in this group that were yo-yoing back and forward. They seem to have dropped back to maybe to the next group at this stage, and we're down to 7.
Still quite intense group racing here. And see how they shift positions all the time, seeking opportunities for themselves and now positioning themselves for the upcoming portage.
And again we see the Spanish controlling at the front. I think they're happy to let the Hungarians maybe come up the inside of them, but they won't drop anywhere further than the first 1 or 2 places.
Quite confident. Aron Marialgetti and Andras Terei from Hungary coming in first to this portage.
Spain out quick again.
And Denmark. Nikolai Bride and Bertram Sørensen.
Yeah, and it's the Hungarian pairing again, Horvat and Turgonyi, who look really bad. And actually Horvat in the front, he's got a complete dead leg and he can't move at all. I think Turgonyi, he needs to run up the front maybe and take the front of the boat, and it would be worth dragging at this stage, but yeah, that's painful.
Very good portage from the Danes, Nikolai Bride and Bertram Sørensen.
And again, it's the Spanish leading out. For the second time, they've taken, yeah, a couple of boat lengths at least.
Yes.
They're looking really, really good.
And the Danes are immediately trying to close that gap, going hard and doing it in a good manner, picking the V-wash there. You can clearly see that on these images. Second Spanish crew.
It's Machado and Esteban coming through in 8th place, but they look like they're going to be caught by this group just behind. And again, problems. I think the back paddler in the British boat here, he's really struggling with the dead leg as well. Ouch.
And there is Nordberg and Olofsson from Sweden, Ludvig Nordberg and Axel Elvius Olofsson.
Paul Donlan and Ben Higgins, they've no sympathy for the British boys. They're trying to stretch in front.
And these guys are on 10th and 11th and 12th positions. 350 meters behind the leading group.
And Hinge and Lockegord, we saw them really running hard through the portage there. They went through the feeding lane, got some refreshments.
Denmark in the lead around the turn. Nikolai Bride in the front cockpit. The son of Sten Bride, also a skillful marathon paddler.
Yeah, and these 3 guys at the front, they had a little bit of a gap, and I thought maybe they would have tried to work together to increase the gap and make sure of the 3 medals among themselves, but they're content to let the next guys catch up. We'll be back to 7, I think, very shortly, or 6. It's the second Hungarian crew who suffered that dead leg. So you can see on the water now, they've lost maybe 70 or 80 meters. And we can see the Hungarian C2 now, Zidai and Galanyi. They've really closed the gap up. Maybe 15 meters left to close. And I'm sure that Busto and McGuans, they know what they did at the last turn, so I don't think it'll be any surprise for them when they come in to be told they have a 15-second penalty. So I think they'll already be mentally prepared that after this portage they're going to have to do some hard work to try and chase down the leading guys. Stowe and McGuans, I think they'll try and push hard. Maybe coming into the portage, it would make sense for them to try and lead in and run hard up as far as the penalty box. Try and minimize how much distance the other guys will take out of them. They can afford, of course, to sprint as hard as they can, because they will get a 15-second rest to get some sort of little bit of recovery.
I don't think the Hungarians has really realized that yet, but they're working hard now to close the gap, really hard. Race is on here.
Absolutely. I think the Hungarians and the second Spanish, or the Spanish that will have a penalty, I think they're going to come out of the portage together. So at least for the Hungarians, then they'll have someone to help them in the chase, because they look like they've been chasing hard now for 3 laps. You could see their work rate was quite high.
This is very nice group racing in the C2s.
Look at the C2 having to do those draw strokes to keep the back of the boat running straight. It's so difficult to steer, and actually they found they've dropped off the back. They were just struggling on that side. And here we go. They'll be told now as they get out. 15-second penalty. Yeah, I thought they'd run harder up to the penalty box, Stefan, to try and minimize the loss, but they seem content just to jog through. Maybe a strange decision.
Looking over their shoulder, so the Hungarians coming.
I saw him shrugging his shoulder there, going almost just to say, what? I'm sure he knew well that they'd gone inside a buoy. But and there we go.
Came out together with the Hungarians now.
Yeah, Hungarians have just had a present gifted to them. Yeah, they're away. Where are the Hungarians? They were running beside each other there 3 seconds ago when we saw them on screen. And yeah, what happened there? We didn't see the end of the portage, but for some reason the Hungarians seem to be very, very slow getting into the boat.
Something must have happened. They had opportunity there to get a race for the bronze medal, or together trying to close the gap, but obviously they had to fix something. Here they are again, trying their best to close the gap once again.
I mean, when you look at their technique there, there's absolutely no relaxation. They're working really, really hard.
Yeah.
And they've been that way since the start of the race. They must have some stamina to paddle like that for 2 hours in a world of pain. But it looks to me, I think Busto and McGrans, they're motivated to close the gap. Working hard.
I think also the first two is quite eager to keep the third boat behind.
Yeah, look at this. Campos has stopped to put his drink tube in his mouth. I wonder, is he maybe aware that his countrymate has had a 15-second penalty, and as long as he's confident enough, of course they know each other very, very well, and I guess Campos would know if he can take the other guys, then he maybe will look out for his countrymen to some extent, let them catch back up. And they are. They're nearly back. So the C2's now approximately halfway through this race. And it's back to the same three again at the front.
Quite good team racing here. Where Campos and Romero took over the lead in this first group, setting a very, very slow speed, waiting for Fernando Busto, and now they are three once again.
Gap back to the Hungarians, maybe stretched a little bit from the last lap. And some action now in the front of the junior men's K2 race.
This Sjursen and Ivarsen, the Norwegians, that is setting some speed together with Great Britain. Great Britain, Freeland and Stanley in the lead. Sjursen and Ivarsen, who's into the diamond wash, I think, there. And Hungary, Maria Ligeti.
I'm glad you took that one, Stefan. I see just in the background we see the second Hungarian crew. They had some problems on the last portage, but they look like they're catching up. Just joining in with the group now, with about 500 or 600 meters to go to the portage, maybe a little more. But Let's see how Turganye is this time with his leg. Has he lost the numbness? Sometimes this can happen in K2s. One guy is, or the two of you are sitting slightly off on the seats, and it puts a pressure on one side of your buttocks, and you end up with a trapped nerve and a dead leg, and there's nothing worse. And again, it's the Spanish who cruise their way into the front.
Estebanos and Machado, they want a decent portage, want to split the group slightly to avoid any trouble.
Did you notice Stefan Bertram Sorensen? He's had a shave last night. He's lost his beard.
Yeah,
I think
I saw that.
He's lost a lot of hair. I think Bertram, for next year when you have the World Championships in Yels, we need a Viking team, and I hope he grows it back. We need the Vikings.
Your hometown, Jels, where the World Championships
That's
is
right.
organized next year.
Beautiful Yels, and everybody should get themselves down. It's going to be a
Now
great
into the
event.
portage is Spain and it's Hungary, each side of the pontoon. Estebanes and Machado, and it's Sorensen and Bride, and it's
Oh, what have
Today
the
in
Norwegians done? They've put the nose of the boat
Oh,
in under
yeah.
the jetty, so they've lost some time. Portuguese struggling to get their nutrition in. But up at the front now, it's 4 boats, and that's a comfortable group. It's the Spanish and the Hungarians are away first. Sorensen and Brule just chasing them down, and the British guys really doing well today. Dominic's, no, it's not Dominic. Yeah, it is. Stanley and Freeman.
right after them Portugal. Portugal, Silva and Santos.
Bertram Sorensen and Nikolai Brule just a little bit off the pace, but I'm pretty sure they're going to catch back up. But the Hungarians at the front, I think that's Maria Leggetti and Terry, and they're pushing on. And it's Ireland, Paul Donnellan, Ben Higgins, together with the second Spanish crew, coming through the portage now. I think the Irish, after maybe a slightly slow start, are moving well through the field.
Sweden, Nordberg Olofsson, doing their first international marathon together in the K2.
And the second British cruise again, he's suffering with his legs. It's quite a couple of paddlers we've seen today with dead legs. Yeah, and looking over the other side of the lake now, the Danes and the English crew, British crew, haven't closed that gap yet. They don't want to let that gap grow.
It's 30 meters now or so. A decisive moment in the race. They are done more than half of the race now, lap 5 out of 6. So after this lap, it's just one more long lap to go. I think these two guys will work hard now to keep that gap. And here comes the Danes, decisive, really want to close this.
Yeah, they're closing it now. But I'm sure they didn't want to have to do this bit of work. As we said, each time you have to catch up, it's sapping the energy from you. And I think the British guys on their wash, maybe not so strong as the Danes, maybe, and they forced the Danes to do all the chasing. I see the Spanish guys are keeping tight into the right-hand side of the lake. They want to limit the Danes from moving out to try and catch a wash. We had Mass in here talking to us the other day, and he said, you know, that's a possible tactic, is to stay up the side of the lake and stops people moving out wide to ride up the wave on the right-hand side. But the Danes are back. And we see now that the Spanish just put paddles down. Maybe the Spanish aren't quite aware yet that the Danes are back. So I think it'd be worth the Danes' effort to move up onto the Spanish guys' wash, just to let them know they're there. And I think it'd probably make the Spanish guys maybe slow down a little bit.
It became a decisive moment. The big group of 7 K2s down to 4. Significant gap behind them now to Portugal on the 5th position, 200 meters behind, together with Sjursen and Iversen from Norway.
Something with all 3 of those following crews, Stefan, on the last portage. We had the Hungarians maybe with a dead leg.
Yes.
The Norwegians put the boat in under the jetty, and then the Portuguese guy, I think they were struggling a little bit to get their nutrition in on times. So it just shows efficiency on the portage, doing things nice and calmly, training it.
Exactly.
It can make all the difference.
It's so easy to make mistakes in portage and lose a lot of ground. It's so difficult to really create advantage for yourself. So portages is to play safe and tidy. Don't take any unnecessary risks. Once again, the Hungarians are closing. Hungary that have many medals. These races, C2 races over the years.
Those guys in the Hungarian boat, Zidai there in the front, you can see how hard he's working together with his partner. But you can really see the effort. Whereas the guys in the front 3 boats, looking a little more relaxed. I'm sure they're pulling hard as well, but it's a little more fluid. Maybe only working 90%. Hungarians for sure at 100.
Last year at the World Championships in Romania, Campos and Romero won, Portugal and Sochora second, and Hungary by Köver and Horvat took a bronze medal. Köver and Horvat tournament that made so many good K2 races over the years together. Does not participate in this event, but it shows that Hungary usually are among the nations that have medals in this category C2 men. Into the portage.
So let's see this time. I'm sure the first three guys will run together. As one of the guys lost the back of the boat there for a minute. I think the Polish guy lost the back of the boat for a minute, but it's okay. Luckily these sea boats don't have a rudder, so there's less risk of damaging the boat, of course. But I'm interested to see the Hungarians. I think they've lost a bit of ground on each of the portages. You see them on every lap catching up to some extent, but yeah, again, they don't seem so comfortable on the land.
They lost 10 seconds or so over the portage.
Hungarian wash, arms down, doing nothing. I know the two British guys are not pushing on, but you can just see how effortless it is if you get in on the A-wash there. So easy.
I think we'll see this pattern continue. The second group is far behind, and these four in front is now focusing, saving energy for coming in sprint, looking for any mistakes from their fellow competitors, of course, and will use that. Second group of three: Norway, Portugal, and Hungary. Now 150 meters behind, or a little bit more.
So these guys now out on their second from last long lap. Two more portages, followed by 700 or 800 meters to the finish line. And they can see the lead bunch just in front of them, so they can see that the pace has really gone low, but I'm not sure that the second bunch are really motivated to chase. But they're really taking it easy at the moment. And Cruz coming in here. I think it's their fourth portage. Their refreshments Nicely done. I like the look of this Spanish guy in the front. You can see he's always looking around. I don't know if he's looking into the eyes of his competitors, try to see if they look like they're weak. Talking to his partner. Probably the usual conversation of are you alright? And of course you only get the one answer, yeah, I'm okay. And Bertram in the front here, talking to Nikolai. And here we go. The race starts again.
Hungary that wanted a little bit more speed. Game is on.
Yeah, the first time now we've seen that the Spanish haven't led into the portage, but here they go again. There's plenty of power there. Are they going to go all the way to the front? I don't think they need to. I think this group has sort of settled on the Hungarians and the Danes going to the left-hand side, and the Spanish seem to always take the right. So maybe they feel there isn't that much need to fight among themselves.
The Danes are taking it easy, just staying on the wash. Now they have enough room to get into the pontoon, even if Hungary is in front of them. Or going up on the outside now. Was a little bit strange tactic.
Yeah. I think everybody should be okay on this one. There's 2 boats each side. As we speak, what the back paddler of the British boat, he didn't quite catch the boat on time. But I don't think it's going to cause any problems. He managed to pick it up before it got banged off the pontoon, so it looks to be okay. But that's one of these occasions where the front man has to be calm. If he sees the back man hasn't managed to pick the boat up, instead of panicking about losing too much ground on the portage, he needs to stop, let the back man pick up the boat, make sure the rudder's okay, and then chase. If you damage the rudder, it's game over. Oh! Yeah, what happened there? Has the Spanish damaged? No, I think he just moved out to the side for some reason. It looks okay. And here's a mess. Yeah, they've sorted themselves out now and they're running, but yeah, I think it's Horvath in the front of that Hungarian boat again who's struggling, and that must be terrible for him. He looked so strong on the water at the start. Hungarian for get him a new leg.
Sweden together with Ireland. And Spain, Coco Dimitrov. Swedish Nordberg Olofsson. And also Lukkegaard and Hinge, the second Danish crew.
So these guys, Stefan, are they approximately 10 to 13 position or so, is it?
Yeah. 8, 9, 10, 11th. 9, 10, 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So there's opportunity here to have a top 10 placing. I think some of these guys would be happy with that.
600 meter.
Yeah, Irish running really well here. Together with the Danes.
Problems. Need to stop and empty their boat.
So Anton Hinge and Sebastian Lukkegaard, I think they're both Silkeborg guys. Leaving the portage now with the Irish and the Spanish. And it's Sweden who've dropped a little bit on the run.
Nordberg Olofsson had some problems. Stopped and emptied their boat. This is not fast anymore. The C2. Just saving energy for the final lap coming up later. Open up for Hungary to finally close this gap. Working hard, as we have seen them doing at every lap.
I think we saw the front Polish paddler there just take a look behind him as he went around the last of the boys at the top turn. Just making sure that that gap isn't closing. But I don't think it is. Maybe closes a little bit on each lap, but not enough that they can get in contact. And in addition to that, I think they seem to be the weaker of the runners among these C2 race. So I think last time we said they lost maybe 10 seconds. So it's tough out there for those guys. You can see a medal, but you can't see how you're going to get up there and take it. While since we've seen the second of the Poland crews, I'm not sure if they're still going. We saw in the background the Portuguese seaboat paddlers going by. But perhaps it's only down to 5 C2s left on the course. I'm not sure. Yeah, it appears they've gone out. So that was Kloss and Kaminski, both medal winners earlier this week. So perhaps they had some trouble.
all the way down to the fourth point. They're on the way to the top turn. We get the C2 guys coming into view, headed to their portage on the 7.9 k's to the finish. Ja, altså kanoerne her med 400 meter op til jeres.
Paddlers, Sergio Marcel, Gilberto Cruz, 5th place in the C2 race. As the lead three, I think they've 200 or 300 meters now to their portage number 5, I think. So they have 2 more long laps after this, and then their short lap. But I can't see any of these guys being motivated to get rid of the others at the moment. We haven't seen any. I don't think we do see so much sprint spurts to try and drop people in C2. It seems to be more of just a war of attrition where people drop off just from pure tiredness. But the Hungarians, is the shot foreshortened, or have they really closed up this time? They don't look so far behind.
It's still a 40-45 meters.
Yeah, okay, it's the camera
angle is playing tricks with us.
Yeah. Ooh, the second Spanish crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Busto. He had to reach out, and the 2 guys, they had to reach out and stop the boat sliding away using the top of their paddle.
Campos Romero looks strong.
Oh, now, what's gonna happen here?
This helper will have some problems when they finish, I think.
He'll get a time penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From his own crew.
I think that was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it was. Such things happens. Ah, look at this. They're closing. Great Britain, Denmark, Spain.
Bertram Sorensen stroking the lead Danish boat there.
Yeah.
Apologies to Bertram. Yesterday I think I said he was from Vallensbæk Kayak Club. He is of course from Lungby. Sorry, he's from Hellerup Kayak Club.
Yeah.
Here we see a repeat of that incident at the portage. The Spanish helper is trying to get Campos's drink in place. Oh, it was purely an accident, nothing intentional there, but the Polish have suffered. And I think as long as those 3 boats are still together on the water, which they are, yeah, it's no harm done. Race in Copenhagen, Stefan, that you were in 1990 in the K2 race, and we had some Danish helpers standing in the water, and he was trying to drop a drinks bag, I think, into maybe the boat for Lars and Thor, and the English pair were Ballard and Slater were trying to get away, and he was almost just standing in their way, and Ballard was just thumping him with his paddle. And that's the way racing was back then.
Yeah, during that period it was allowed to feed wherever during the course and in the portage and wherever you wanted. We even had helpers swimming in the water in some of the races. Now it's much more strict, which is of course good for not at least for safety reasons. And here the race is on. Shifting positions suddenly into this coming portage. The speed is set.
Yeah, and then look, it's the British boys, Dominic Stanley and Harry Freeland, who look like they've dropped off the pace a little bit here.
Yeah. It's Hungary, Spain and Denmark leading now. Trying to ensure medals for themselves. Just set the high speed around the turn there.
I think the British boys are coming back.
Doing everything they can. Hungary, comfortable, confident, looking over their shoulders. These guys look strong.
Yeah, Estebanez looking around him all the time, as I said, keeping an eye on what's going on. Danish guys keeping themselves out of trouble.
High frequency there on the Brits, trying to go right into the diamond wash. Couldn't make it. Moving out to the side instead.
And of course I was mixing myself up with Bertram Sørensen, of course a Silkeborg boy, and it's Nikolai Brühl, who's from Hellerup. Apologies again. But these guys looking good.
Final and decisive portage, and it's Denmark, and it's Hungary, and it's Spain. Going for the 3 medals. The Brits are off, I think, just a couple of boat lengths behind, but that is important into the final portage. Once again, Spain on the right-hand side, Hungary and Denmark on the other.
Yeah, it's Magliatelli, or Magliagetti, and Andreas Terry
Spain
who are
now.
leading.
They are really leading.
Yeah, I fancy the Spanish for this one, I think. They've looked really good on all the previous portages. They take a few meters and they're away.
Oh, some mistakes there from Denmark. They lost the grip of the boat, and I think this will be tough for them now.
Yeah.
They need to do a marvelous departure from the portage and a very, very good run to keep up, because both Hungary and Spain are very, very strong crews.
Yeah, my money is on Spain. I think they've looked really, really good from day one. From the start of this race, they've controlled things really well.
Each side of the pontoon, both away in order. Not good for the Danes.
No.
Denmark away, no problem there.
Spanish content to take the second boat. Not sure whether that's a sensible move. These K2s have a big wash. It's not so easy to get over the wash as it is in a K1. But he's backed himself to have a go in the last little bit. Maybe he doesn't have a choice.
Hungary going fast now. Probably they have felt that Spain is fast.
Yeah, both crews looking a little tired, but
Tired is also Denmark.
yeah, Nikolai Bruth gritting his teeth in the back. I'm sure they're kicking themselves for the little error on the exit from the portage.
Just a small little error there. It's so important in K2 that to be coordinated when you depart the kayak, otherwise it easily moves out and you lose grip and can damage the rudder.
Yeah,
Around the bend here now.
Yeah, have Spanish left anything in the tank? I don't know.
Hungary look very, very...
Here they go. I think the Spanish are having a little pop now. Yeah, but it hasn't worked. And I mean, they didn't take much of a distance out of the Hungarians there at all. Now they're going again.
Now they're going.
This time for serious.
Spain, and it's Spain. They look confident.
Yes.
All the way through, and it's Spain. Spain that is moving fast now.
Incredible.
150 meters to go. It's Spain. Spain in the lead. And it will be Spain. It's game over for Hungary. It's Spain. Spain winning the gold medal in K2 Men Juniors European Championship, Marathon Championship 2022.
Yeah, what a performance.
Going to Spain.
We saw Estebanez. He was watching everything happening during the race. I think a really good front man there. He knew exactly what he was doing. That was a calculated tactic to drop behind the Hungarians. He backed himself in the sprint finish and it paid off. What a race. And Denmark into a third place. I think they should be happy with that.
I don't think they are particularly happy after that little mistake in the last portage, but a medal is always a medal.
Exactly. Yeah, they gave it their best.
They gave it their best, absolutely so. The second medal for Bertram Sørensen and a new medal for Nikolai Brida and Aron Mariagletti and Andreas Terei from Hungary had a silver medal, and I think they are very happy for that.
I think it's Santos from Portugal who'll come in to take the fifth place here on the line, and he's followed by the Norwegians.
Congratulations. Good job. Så når vi på tredjepladsen er situationen Mikkel Sjursen.
In front of me here we have the second Hungarian crew. That's Horvath and Turgani. Horvath really suffered with his dead leg on the portages, and I'm sure this wasn't where they had hoped to finish. Ben Higgins and Paul Donlan having a battle with the second Spanish crew for, I think, the 8th place. And Paul squeezing the Spanish. That's okay. And I think they have enough in the tank to take this one. I think that's a great result for the Irish. Yeah. They're really staying out to the side there. Yeah, it's not over yet. Spanish are trying to come. But it is the Irish. You just hold on for that 8th place. Spain in 9th.
Gold medalists from Spain. This is your first gold medal in an international marathon, right?
Yes, it's the first marathon international.
And how does it feel?
I can't explain. I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
Very happy indeed. You seem to be in control of the race all race through. Did you plan it that way?
Yeah, so is the plan. We did that, sprints, and the rain low, not very high. So, well, the race perfect.
The competition is very hard.
So the competition was very hard and you did very well. Congratulations, Spain!
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you.
And the silver medalist from Hungary. Is this your first silver medal in an international marathon?
Yes. It's my first international competition, and my teammate took.
I have been to the World Championships last year, and we came 6th with another partner. But now I'm really happy with the medal, with the silver medal.
You seem very, very confident during the race. Did you plan it this way?
We didn't really have a race plan, but it came together really well during the race, and we had good luck, and we were strong enough to hold on.
Have you trained a lot together?
Yes, we have trained together since May, when we had the selections for this race. And so we have a really good partnership, and also we are really good friends, which I think helps in races also.
And you're coming back for the Worlds in Portugal later this year?
Yeah, we are waiting for that World Championship too.
Once again, congratulations, Hungary!
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And then the bronze medalist from Denmark. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Bertram, this was the second medal for you this weekend. Did you expect that?
I was hoping very much. We were pedaling really well in the training, me and Nikolai, so kinda.
And I couldn't really recognize you this morning without the beard. Was that also within the plan?
I promised one of my coaches that if I won the K1, I would shave the beard and the hair before the K2 race.
And you did. So, and Nikolai, this is your first international medal, right?
No, it's my second. I came second at the World Champions last year with Jeppe. But I think it was a very much harder race than we expected. We almost fell in the water at the third portage, so we had to catch up, and I think we got very tired after that. And I also think that Bertram went really hard yesterday to get the gold, so he was also a bit tired. But we did all we could and managed to get the bronze, and we're really happy with that.
Congratulations, Denmark.
Thank you.
Så er det altså lykkedes for det ungarske mandskab at lukke op til den anden spanske båd, som altså har været i startboksen. Det har måske været lidt for hårdt for dem at skulle lukke det her hul op til de to.
Thank you, Stefan. And while you were away, there's been an event in the C2 race where we've lost the second Spanish boat. The same guys who had the penalty earlier. They dropped off, I think, at the last portage, so we're down to 2 boats at the front. It's Manuel Campos and his partner Diego Romero, and they're just ahead of the Polish Zukora and Borgil. So they're on their last long lap now. And it's a long gap back. I don't know what happened. But clearly the second Spanish has had some sort of a problem. Are now together with the Hungarians who were chasing hard throughout the race. We were looking at the Hungarians and wondering, how can you work so hard like that and nothing was happening, they simply weren't catching. And of course now you say, well, look, it looks like it was all worth it. They're back in a shout now for a bronze medal. So it just shows that you should never give up. Manuel Campos, I think pretty sure of another medal. I think it will be his 34th international medal. And of course it's just a question now of whether it's a silver or a gold. For a drink now, nobody wants to go up and pull. Campos and Romero have been forced up into the front.
er 250 meter ned til Silkeborg 1000, og har vi netop det portugisiske mandskab op til deres sidste overværing, så det er og Rodrik, her er herrekontorerne eftermiddag Marcel og Cruz, gårdsdagens frontspiller her bagerst på 2,5, Sergio Marcel, Stagler, hvor han altså tager til takke med femtepladsen i samarbejde med Silkeborg Cruz.
Não, mas tem. Senão eu dou outra vez, mas eu vou tomar a vida.
Pois, uma água é mais fácil.
Eu não sei se é. Não, outra vez mandamos vir no hotel que enganamos de pizza. Mas temos que ir. Mas já demoraram. Vocês chegaram a seguir, acho eu.
Nós chegamos a seguir, estou. Mas nós mandámos vir nos hambúrgueres.
Mas vocês estão no hotel, não é?
Isso foi naquela vez em que nós chegámos.
Quando chegámos logo em Atlanta,
quando entregamos o voo.
Exato, foi em Atlanta.
Nós mandámos vir uns hambúrgueres, pá, para cada um. Aí, quando que ele vem, os gajos devem sempre ter enganado, mas pediram. Pediam cachorro, batatas, peixe,
eu acho que vocês querem no hotel. E eu e o Marcos, o Marcos estava pronto, era 2 da manhã. E eu disse assim, não, cara, não vai na vida, não vai na vida aqui, eu tenho um irmão de cá, eu tenho aqui, uma coisa também grande, e eu tenho aquilo, eu fui fome, e fui assim, vou olhar, passei depois da casa lá. Claro, aquela era... Era o irmão do Rui, depois era o Pereira também, e o Pereira, eu disse, eu sou dos Pereiras, eu dei, vocês parecem velhos.
Entramos no carro.
Portuguese crew, Sergio Marcel and Gilberto Cruz, just starting their last lap, or the last long lap. It's also a long last lap. Now over 1,000 meters behind. But just 5 boats left on the water.
E aquilo, e depois aqueles gajos ficaram sinónimos, aquelas ficaram enormes, os gajos como lá, de repente, dá ali a volta para aquele veio, já fomos, e o gajo era...
Marshall to finish line.
Não era Porto Rico, era uma maneira assim também passiva, não é? Era assim uma coisa já foi.
Sorry, what problem? All the boats are okay. Train 20 is correct.
Mas o certo é que nos vou abrir tudo e tal.
Thank you.
Tínhamos o eu acho que apanhámos um dono. Porque vocês querem mais, mas nós tivemos um shuttle. Mas nós tínhamos um shuttle, nós. Mas também depois eu não
estava lá, quando estávamos lá na fila de buscar os nervos, rolezinhos para o hotel,
e ver andar, mesmo assim, a marca, andar e coisa. Mas aí o que me surpreendeu mais nessa parte do Atlanta foi
Hard day at the office for these two. I think they've been on their own really from the start. So it takes a strong mindset just to keep going like this. Great to see them. So we can see that they're approaching the Lake Sport House here in Silkeborg, and that means that the leading crews must be around that top turn. Men's C2 race. We have a break of approximately an hour. So we'll be back at 12 o'clock for one of the great races I'm really looking forward to, the men's K2 race, where we have, of course, defending world champions and European champions Quentin Urban and Jeremy Candy from France in action, and some really good Danish crews. Søren Moretti, yesterday he started in the K1 and decided to save some energy for today, and I think that's where he's more suited, in the K2, and he'll be together with Nikolai Thompson. Both these boys from Silkeborg Kayak Club. And the other good K2 crew, Noah Pedersen and Philip Knudsen. Philip we saw taking a second place in the men's under 23 race, but unfortunately getting a time penalty for squeezing one of his fellow competitors at the finish line. So I think he got pushed back to 6th place. But really looking forward to seeing these guys in action as we go back now to the leading men's C2s. And it is Sergio Marcial and Gilbert. Oh, sorry, no, it's Borgiel and Zucora. We're just ahead at the moment of Manuel Campos and Diego Romero. And these guys will fight out for the gold medal. And a further 100-meter behind, we have the second Spanish crew, Fernando Busto and Diego Miguens, and they'll be fighting for the bronze medal, together with Zidai and Gilani from Hungary. Vergil, who won the short track race, so I think he obviously has some good speed. I think the favourite money, of course, would go on Campos and Romero. Campos with such experience, we saw him win yesterday, but you never know. Borgil, strong man, obviously has some speed, so maybe he can do something at the finish. Let's see. Second Spanish crew here, together with the Hungarians. But it's the leading crews now, with just about 100 meters to go to the portage. And it is the Polish who are holding the lead. Maybe they have a tactic to go left here on the portage as they look at it. Hold the Spanish out a little bit. Just try and get a little bit of a lead on the run. They need to do something. They know they're up against some Really tough competition with Manuel Campos, and that's exactly what the Polish have decided to do. They're staying on the left-hand side of the jetty as they come to it. And I'd say now they'll see the Spanish dropping behind, so they're going to stop right at the end of the jetty. Brakes on now for the Polish, yeah. Now, here we go. Poland just ahead. I think we saw Borgil in the C1 race. In the short track, he was able to just jump into his C1. Absolutely incredible entry. And they've taken a little stretch ahead of the Spanish. I think this is game on here, Stefan.
It is, absolutely.
Now, let's see, are the Polish, yeah, really quick. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's made it. And they've about 6 or 7, 8 meter lead now. Manuel Campos and Romero, they're going to have to close that down. So, I think the gap is being closed a little bit now. But of course, it's one thing to close the gap, it's another thing to try and get out in front again. As third and fourth place come into the portage now. The second Spanish clean out of the boat. But I think something's wrong with the Spanish guy in the second Spanish guy in that boat. He doesn't seem to want to contribute with carrying the boat. Maybe he's a dead arm or something. Yeah, he's some problems. And that's obviously why they dropped off the front of the race. Still Poland at the front. Yeah, and Campos and Romero, they're running out of water a little bit. It's not so easy to accelerate these sea boats quite as easy as it is in a kayak. So, yeah, he's come up the inside. What a turn by the Spanish. So
managing well, really well. These very experienced Campos and Romero. Staying on the wash now, but the poles look strong.
Absolutely. Looks like Campos and Romero are maybe going to leave it to the last 100, 150 meters.
Once again, this is very similar to what happened last year in Romania at the World Championships. And by then it was Campos and Romero that won.
Yeah,
the game is on.
Yeah, Spanish have pulled out to the left there. It's a drag race to the finish. The Spanish are inching up, but I'm not sure they've enough water to do it. It's going. The poles are beaten. Ran out of energy.
Once again, similar to what happened last year, it's Manuel Campos and Diego Romero that is winning the gold medal. This time in the European Championships in Silkeborg, C2 2022. Gold to Spain.
And that's it. Manuel Campos with his 34th championship medal, and it's going to be gold. The Polish are completely beaten. I think they gave it everything, and they were just hoping that the Spanish would crack, but that's the way it goes. A great race.
Mateusz Szora and Mateusz Borgil. Having done good championships anyway. With Borgil winning the short track Thursday, and now a silver medal on this long distance.
Indeed, the second Spanish crew are going to take the bronze medal. We saw the back guy in that boat, Diego Miguans. He had some problems with his arm on the last portage, but it seems to be only affecting carrying the boat. He's still paddling very well, so they're going to take their bronze medal. And the Hungarians who fought the whole way, they're going to finish in 4th place.
Hungary working hard to finish the race. 4-5. Trying to catch up, trying to build up some leads. Finishing 4th place. På fjerdepladsen får vi Silkeborg og pigerne fra Ungarn.
I saw them there. This is starting with them now. They just
Ja, for den portugisiske kano, Sergio Marcel og Gilberto Cruz. Vi er ved at være klar nede på Peterbro til Stefan. Stiller vi op her.
Once again, a gold medal interview with you, Manuel Campos, and your partner. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Nada, hemos hecho una regata bastante táctica. Nos escapamos desde el principio 3 embarcaciones, fuimos colaborando. Lo que pasa que la embarcación húngara fue muy dura, vino peleando hasta los últimos metros y bueno, nos hizo trabajar bastante hasta que tuvimos que dar un tirón y nos conseguimos escapar con el otro barco polaco y jugárnosla al final.
Yeah, you have done a wonderful championship so far, so many medals and so much victories. You looking forward to the World Championships in Portugal now?
Sí, en Portugal ahora estamos clasificados ya también en la embarcación de C2. Vamos a intentar ganar por tercer año consecutivo los dos juntos el C2 y vamos a trabajar muy duro, como ya he dicho, para conseguirlo.
You are doing C2 in Portugal as well?
Sí, voy a hacer C2 con Manuel Antonio. Intentaré sacar mi 4ª medalla consecutiva, la tercera con Manuel Antonio y bueno, nos queda un duro trabajo de aquí a allí porque en este campeonato vimos que los polacos pues cada día que pasa están más fuertes y esta vez nos ha costado un pelín más ganarles. A ver qué tal en el Mundial de Portugal.
What did you think when you lost a couple of meters, 30 meters or so, over the last portage?
A los últimos metros nosotros en el porteo pues se nos escaparon unos 10 metros que al final del porteo fuimos capaces de recuperarlos. Cuando llegamos a la ciaboga pues nos colgamos allí un pelín a ola y los últimos 300 metros eso fue una tortura hasta que el barco polaco pues se rindió y conseguimos sacarle esos metros de ventaja para llegar cómodamente a la meta.
Congratulations, Spain! Poland, a great silver medalist. You were very, very close to a victory after running so well in the last portage. Was that your plan?
Yes, I am very close to the Spain all-time control race. To all-time go together with another boat in Spain waiting, and I think better is fear in the finish and waiting and 200 meters finish and go.
It was very, very close that you made it. It was just the last 100 meters they took over. What was your thinking then?
I don't remember what happened at finish and last portage. No, but the Spanish team was stronger and they win.
Yes, I think it's more pain in body, and this is a very big problem in 200 meters finish.
Yeah, but you did very well. A big congratulations to a great silver medal, and you will come back to marathon in Portugal later this year?
Yes, I hope so. We must be beating the Spain boat another.
Some revenge in Portugal for a gold medal. Poland!
Thank you.
And bronze medals to Spain. You were within the group until the last lap, actually. What happened?
Regata muy dura, en grupo de cabeza, y al final la última vuelta nos dejaron y pudimos conseguir el bronce.
So apparently you had some problems during the last lap. We could see that after finish as well. Are you pleased with the bronze medal according to this?
Sí, en la última vuelta estábamos acalambrados totalmente, no fuimos capaces de ir con un grupo de cabeza y después a los húngaros fuimos capaces a darle el sprint final y bueno, es un bronce, es nuestro debut y nos sabe a oro, la verdad.
It was good group racing and it must have been a tough race.
Sí, sí, bastante difícil la regata.
So congratulations to a great bronze medal and welcome back to Portugal within 2 months.
A ver, en Portugal intentaremos ir a por el oro.
Thank you. Applause.
Så det sådan, at der lige nu en times pause, så vi skal sende starten afsted til herresingler Silkeborg, hvor vi altså har 2 stærke danske mandskaber på startstregen. Kammeratteam i Nora Pedersen og vi starter herresingler Silkeborg, og præmieoverrækkelser for de løb, vi lige har haft. Vi kommer altså først umiddelbart efter, vi har fået sendt starten afsted til herresingler 200 løb. Så en pause nu på en times tid, og der skulle være i streetfood-boderne, så man kan forsyne sig med noget, der ikke er at spise her, hvor der er en times pause, inden vi ser rigtig
27, 33, 35, 41,
The last ticket.
Okay. So this is for the other guys.
This is for the 2 guys. And 11 comes in from the train station. We will pick them up. What hotel are they in?
I don't know, but I think they are in the Radisson.
Okay.
But I can go with you and ask.
Okay. Because we will drive them to the train station.
Okay. So these are the 2 guys who were in the first list, and with 7.
Olha, vou até ao stand. Canoe. De to mandskaber kan vi godt forvente være med fremme og presse de franske verdensmester Quentin Urban og Jeremy Campbell. Med fremme skal vi også forvente at se den spanske brødre Miguel Lorenz og Alberto Plaza. Igen, han har altså flere medaljer i 71 på maratondistancen. Og så altid regne med Ungarn også godt kan være med fremme. Så